Good morning, Carvine. It's RJ back with another video. Let's get to it. Today's random Mike Schmidt item of the day. Another recent eBay purchase because some guy was selling a whole bunch of these. It is from 2003. Topps Gallery, Mike Schmidt, and the artist proofs version is what it's called, although it doesn't have the artist proof logo. I love the cards, very cool. It's a kind of a canvas style card texture on the front, Nice artist rendering of Mike getting ready to field his position. This one put it more of a glossy, kind of like a gold label finish to it, much thicker cardstock. And the back in this one is brown versus the white background here. There is no statement about this being the artist proofs version. But that's what it's called on the tradingcarddatabase.com. So there you have that. Today's random baseball items, something stupid for you today. I have here essentially a pair of Phillies coasters. Now, the reason they look so ratty is because I've used these. They're kind of like a thick rubber, one of those kind of coasters with a felt top on them. You can see they're from 1986, just got the Phillies logo on it. And I did, I got a 4-pack many moons ago, and I used these around the house. That's why they're still cruddy. But you know me, anything Philly is what I'm into. So just wanted to show that off to you. Today's trivia question. May the 17th is today. May the 17th. On this day in baseball history, May the 17th, 1979, the Phillies played the Cubs and had one of the highest scoring games in baseball history. If you ever look into baseball history and you see high scoring games, almost all of them happened in Chicago at Wrigley Field because of the wind. The wind aided a lot of home run balls in Chicago's Wrigley Field, so most of the high-scoring games happened there. So on this day in baseball history, May 17th, 1979, the Cubs played the Phillies. What was the final score? Your prize for that is a cool Ron Santo card from the Cubs. This is from 2019, I believe. Nope, 2020. This is the Turkey Red 2020 insert card of Hall of Fame third baseman Ron Santo. Santo had retired by 79, so he was not part of that game, although naturally Mr. Schmidt was. In fact, Mike hit 2 home runs in the game. So what was the final score? Email me the correct answer. I will include my email in the description below, along with a repeat of the question. You'll have today and tomorrow to answer. We'll pick a winner on Sunday. So good luck to everybody on that. All right, today, another thing I want to show off on from the Bay purchases recently. This is a set from 1989 that was produced by the Phillies. They still, to this day, do this. They put out cards, like postcard-sized cards, of the current players on the Phillies. This particular one from 89 was the last one that had Mike Schmidt on it. And I had the set, but the set I had did not include Mike Schmidt. So I actually went on to the Bay and tried to get one of just Mike Schmidt. Actually, 2 cards of just Mike Schmidt. One I was going to use to complete my other set. The second one I was going to use to put in my binder of Mike Schmidt cards. So I wanted to have 1 full set and then 1 extra card for my binder. Unfortunately, I didn't realize that one of the things I bought was another set. So this was the second thing I bought. It's a complete set. All the players, I'm not going to go through them, all the players on the Phillies from 1989 at the time. The reason I'm not going to go through them is because you really don't know anybody but Mike Schmidt. So that's one thing I got. The second thing I got, I'm going to open because I think it's even cooler. If you're a Phillies fan, you'll appreciate this immensely. I got from 2006 the Phillies Wall of Fame greats. Now, this is not all of the Wall of Fame members, but there are 28 players in this set. This cover sheet is a 29th card. It basically said when we had a vote for the Centennial team back in 1983, these were the players who were voted the best players in Phillies history. I despise this list. I will tell you why. It was soon after the 80 World Series team and the 1983 World Series team. And most of the players on this list, whether they were the best ever or not for the Phillies team, are from that team. So Pete Rose, I'm going to go through them real quick. There are all your position players, and then they had 2 starters and 2 relievers, okay? Out of that list, that is there for 13 players. No, I'm sorry. Is it 12? It's 12 players. There are 12 players on the list. So let's count. Pete Rose, Manny Trio, Mike Schmidt, Larry Boa. Carlton and McGraw, that's 6. Boone and Maddox, 8. 8 out of the 12 are from the 1980 team. Not necessarily the 83 team, because Larry Boa had moved on. Bob Boone had moved on by then. Manny Trio was gone by then. So not necessarily the 83 team, but there's 8 in the history of the Phillies that are considered the greatest who are on the 1980 team. It is a lie. It's not true. They were not the greatest Phillies ever. I mean, I'm sorry, but they're not. Manny Trio, the best second baseman, not even then was he the greatest second baseman who ever played for the Phillies. That probably would have been Napoleon Lajoie. Outfielder Gary Maddox, no. I mean, Del Ennis, who was from the 50 World Series team, no. Richie Ashburn, I'll concede. But there was a number of players that were much better than Gary Maddox and Del Ennis who played their careers for the Phillies. So I'm a little disappointed in that all-century team, but I get it. But here are the players who made the cut. They're on the, well, not made the cut. These are the ones that were included in the card set. The all-Phillies team is much bigger than this, but here we go. Grover Cleveland Alexander, Hall of Famer. Dick Allen, soon-to-be Hall of Famer. I put these in alphabetical order. They're not numbered. Richie Ashburn, not a given. Bob Boone, certainly is an all-Philly, I'll concede, but, Larry Boa, yep. Jim Bunning, Hall of Famer. Johnny Callison, definitely an all-time Philly great. Steve Carlton, Hall of Famer. Gabby Cravath, all-time Philly great. Ed Delahanty, Hall of Famer. Del Ennis, Philly great. Don't know why Dallas Green's image wasn't like a bust. For some reason, he's got this like kind of caricature thing there. He was the manager of the World Series team in '80. Billy Hamilton, Hall of Famer. Granny Hamner from the Whiz Kids. Willie Jones from the Whiz Kids. Chuck Klein, Hall of Famer. Greg Luzinski from '80. Gary Maddox from '80. Sherry McGee. Your T206 error card is Sherry McGee. If you remember your T206s. Tug McGraw. Paul Owens was general manager for the Phillies for a long time. He's the one who created or drafted all the players that became the our late 70s and mid 80s dynasty. Robin Roberts, Hall of Famer. Mike Schmidt, no doubt. Chris Short was a great pitcher, although he wasn't around for some of the glory years. Kurt Simmons on the 50 team. Tony Taylor. Sam Thompson, Hall of Famer, and Cy Williams, one of the greatest power hitters of the 20s, believe it or not. So that is my Phillies Wall of Fame postcard set. Again, if you're a Phillies player or fan, you know those players, you love those players. It's why we come and collect. We collect anything and everything Phillies. I do have several of these card sets. Obviously, being from Philadelphia, every time I go down to the stadium, annually, I try to get to at least one game a year, and I'll spend like close to $200 because I'll buy the yearbook, the card set, and a couple other souvenirs when I go down. So anyway, that's all I have to show you today. Appreciate you watching. Please consider liking, subscribing, commenting, and all that jazz. I really do appreciate it. I appreciate your support immensely because I try my best to support everybody else in this great card community. Not sure if I get to see enough videos, but I try my best. Don't forget the trivia question. Check out the description below. And come back again on Friday. We got one more of these to be had on Friday. Another great trivia question and cool prize I hope you enjoy. Thanks again. Well, that's all I have for you. I hope you had fun. Take care.